a lover, a healer, and a feeler. Yeah, I love that.
The sun is coming up, are you ready to go? We can take a ride, we can take it slow, yo.
Well, welcome back to the Road to Self-Love. It's your boy, Paul Fishman, self-love coach and you do you activist. Here today with Amal Iqbal. Did I say that right? Iqbal. Oh my God.
See, this is why friends love each other. You let those things go and know that it's fine.
go.
He knows who I am.
Who are you? What do you do?
My name is Amal Iqbal.
Iqbal.
I am a Pisces through and through.
Makes so much sense.
I am just this hopeful, bubbly ray of sunshine. Sometimes there can be some cloudy days, but for the most part, I am a creative and a lover and a feeler.
So tell us a little bit about Omid and what you do with it and really what gets you lit up in the day.
Long story short, I have always been connected to the arts and wanted to do something with that. So I went into the architecture field, studied it in high school, and then tried to get into college with it, and it didn't work out, which is totally fine. And ended up pursuing the degree of landscape architecture and was in that environment for quite some time. Due to budget cuts, I ended up losing my job, and so I went back to school for fashion school. So during the time, so this is around 2012, the modest fashion industry didn't really exist as it does today. So I wanted to do something about it, so I decided to go back to school. I went to fashion school for a year. That's kind of where like the creative journey of Omid started. I'm in a new city now and couldn't find any work as a landscape architect. The goal was to use my degree as a way of fueling my business on the side, and just got thrown into work and was working like 16-hour days and kind of lost the dream a little bit. So at the time, downtown was trying to get entrepreneurs to come back. So I entered a competition to open up my own store and made it as a finalist and didn't win, which was actually a really good thing because that's actually what lit the fire in me to be like, oh, this is something I can do. And so then was like, okay, let me take the skill sets that I have of studying architecture, interior design, landscape architecture, and just being creative and house it under one roof. And so Omid means hope and Amal means hope. And so I wanted to...
That's crazy because Paul means hope. It doesn't. And
so taking that energy and just knowing that I could do good with what I create. So like all of the products are made sustainably one way or another. There's fair trade involved if I'm manufacturing the goods. And I'll get emails and DMs saying like, your creations make me so happy. And that to me is worth more than a sale.
Do you think creativity is something that can actually be taught?
Yes. The ability to create and do at the best of your level exists in everybody. Like any muscle, right? If you work at it, the stronger you'll get. You are not going to be the same as the person that you're trying to be inspired by or follow to recreate, right? Like you don't have their hands, you don't have their experience. This is unfortunately where comparison syndrome can come from, especially in the creative industry, is that you see something, you're like, that's what I want to do. And then you attempt it and you're like, oh my God, it looks nothing like that. This isn't good. And then you just go down that trail and it's like, but how could it be the same when you're two completely different people?
Right. That makes so much sense. You know, we get stuck in that compare-dashian moment. And it's really just like realizing that the only person that I need to be like is me.
Exactly.
Are there times that you've fallen into that comparison trap?
I would definitely say this last year I was definitely doing that. And that's where it just came to a point where I was just like, nope, like I need to stop creating and just step outside of this and realign myself with my why, figure out what I'm good at. I've actually stopped following people who do what I do so that subconsciously my ideas are not being aligned with theirs. When your work is your soul, essentially, the minute it's not what you expected it to be, you're going to start tearing yourself apart. And that's the most dangerous thing you can do as a creative.
Before we hop into that, I think that it's perfect time for our first road trip game. You and I, we're just going to write a really cute little love poem to our best selves.
Will you do the honors, please?
Yes, I will do the honors. My best self is a rose on a summer morn.
My best self is like the sun rising in the dawn.
And when the pinks and the blues and the purples and the oranges tend to light in a way,
you've created a rainbow of hope just for you.
And every single day. So one day I said to myself with joy,
I'm gonna wake up and be the best version of me.
So I looked out the window and I said, ahoy, ahoy, is that you, best self? It is.
Oh my God, it's me!
Looking in the mirror, look, Mom, it's me.
And as much as I need your approval, mine matters the most to me.
And I don't want to come off selfish or boast, you see.
But believing and inspiring and achieving and dreaming are the best things that we can do for you and me.
Beautiful.
Oh man, I'm proud.
That was so beautiful.
I'm proud.
What did you do, like, when you decided that you had to step out of it? Like, how did you give yourself permission to do that and not beat yourself up?
Full disclosure, I'm still in it.
Okay, you're still in it.
I'm still in it. It's like a upside down parabola, right? Like you kind of like, you start up high, then you go low, and then you got to pick yourself back up. So I think I'm like in like the trajectory of going back up again. I started off with research. That's whenever I get stuck, that's where I go. And I was gifted, I think it's called Creative Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert.
Such a good book.
And so after just the first couple chapters, especially the one where she's like, creativity is a gift. Like, how lucky are we that creativity chose us? And I read that line like 4 times and then like screenshot it and then printed it out and then posted it in my thing. And I was just like, gratitude. Like, I just need to be grateful. There's some days where I just have to check myself, and that's where I know that I'm progressing.
I get so many messages of people like really projecting their need to forgive themselves onto others. Can you first forgive yourself for allowing whatever to happen actually happening, or can you forgive yourself for being angry? Well, let's talk about the fear of success, because that's a real thing.
I think because like everything, it's gonna have to come to an end, and then what do I do?
Oh, so we're already taking it away from ourselves.
Love that. Right? The best isn't behind us. Could you imagine like what you will gain from it that can last lifelong? The skill sets, the memories, the friendships that may come from it.
Success is constantly evolving. It's like the success that you had in 2017, 18 isn't going to look anything like the success that you are going to have now and upcoming.
When things are evolving, things aren't necessarily working for us anymore. So I'm in that phase where it's like, okay, like this was great while it's lasted. I've evolved. I need to go back to the drawing board and then evolve and try again.
And just focus on what is working, because if it's working, you just put more of your love and your creativity and your grace into it. What were some things that gave you kind of like solace and like a little comfort in knowing
that I still had juice in me? Like I wasn't out of ideas yet. And I think knowing that I've given it my best has been what's allowed me to go, okay.
It's time for our next road trip game.
Woo!
We're playing Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
The creative process, being an entrepreneur, college.
I'm gonna kill college. Bye. Bye. I will always have a love affair with creative.
Okay,
great. Entrepreneurship. I'm always coming up with new ideas. Marriage, I think you gotta check out what doesn't work and then keep going.
What does self-love mean to you?
I've been able to boil it down to one word, and that's respect.
I just got the goosebumps. And where can everyone find you?
On Instagram at OmidOfficial. And then my website is www.omid.com.
Thank you so much for joining me on the road to self-love.
Thank you for having me and giving me a safe space to share.
Absolutely. So make sure to follow her friends and make sure to screenshot this and share it with anyone if you're listening. And also, please rate and review the show. It helps spread this message of love and light to so many more people who need it. And we will see you next time on the road to self-love. Bye!